Hi and welcome to What to Fold June 2015, the next video in my series where I recommend origami models for you to fold. This time around it's all about tessellations. Now I know lots of you love tessellations, so I thought I'd point out some YouTube resources for you to follow on. So first of all, I wanted to make you aware of a couple of playlists I have on the topic of tessellations. There's a playlist of tutorials for tessellations and fractals that I've demoed, and then I've also got a playlist that just shows simple techniques for origami tessellations that help you along following other tutorials or crease patterns and such. Third, I've also got a video from back in 2009 where I just showed some tessellations that I folded back then, and 2009 was the year that I really got started with tessellations because I got the book Origami Tessellations by Erik Gjerde, which is absolutely wonderful and a great resource if you want to look further. And finally, I've also got some time lapses of me folding more elaborate projects, and some of those are tessellations, so you might want to check those out too. But now I want to go on and recommend some models and videos from other YouTubers. And first of all, I wanted to recommend Ilan Garibi's channel, and in particular he has a lot of tessellations he's designed, and he has videos for his pineapple tessellation, for his mystery tessellation, and for his Hilula tessellation. It's a really new model, the Hilula, and I think it's also absolutely magical. Each one of them has a very different feel and look, but at the same time I do think that you can recognize Ilan in all three of them. Then there's Jeremy Shafer with a very different type of tessellation, kind of action-based, and it's really nice to fold his Easy Flasher, and when you're up for the challenge, also his Flasher Deluxe. Now, after these two very well-known origami artists, I also wanted to recommend the Sand Clover Tessellation by Martin from MSA Origami, and the Drink Coaster Tessellation by Joe Eager. And finally, there's of course also people that demonstrate other people's design just like me. So for example, Joe Nakashima presented the Dragon's Egg by Shumakov, it's also known as the Magic Ball, and he also presented the Spread Hexagons designed by Erik Gjerde. And in the same book, Origami Tessellations, there is the Bird-Based Tessellation by Christian Beton, and this was presented by Origami Specialist. So those are 10 tessellations you might want to try out, and of course there's so many more resources out there, be it websites that have crease patterns and diagrams or more origami videos. So in the comment section, do leave your suggestions on what people should try out. And also, if you want to suggest a theme for a future What to Fold video, do leave that in the comment section too, because I love to have your feedback. And finally, here's an overview of all the resources I suggested. First, I suggested my playlist of origami tutorials for tessellations and fractals, and then my playlist of tessellation techniques, then my video showcasing some of the tessellations I folded back in 2009, and finally my time lapses, which include some origami tessellation folds. Then I went on to suggest a lot of models from other YouTubers, and there's a playlist for all of those models. And finally, if you do enjoy the What to Fold series, I've got a playlist of all the other videos in the series too. And with that, I wish you happy folding, and in particular, happy tessellating!